Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to be breaking down some NFL news and some Raiders rumors as well. When this story came out bright and early this morning from Adam Schefter on Twitter, I had a lot of people hit me up and said, hey, Mitch, what about the Raiders going out and signing free agent quarterback Cam Newton? I'll tell you what I think about it in a sec. But in terms of Schefter, he came out and said, free agent quarterback Cam Newton is drawing interest, but also is remaining patient. I have teams that are interested in signing me. Newton has texted, I am waiting on the best fit as it pertains to winning a championship and getting a fair chance to play. So I always say, let's give the nation a voice. That's what this show here is all about. So before I give my answer, go down in the comment section and type S for sign, or I want you to go ahead and type P for pass on the Raiders going out and getting Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton is a fun story, and I loved what I saw from him last year on the Carolina Panthers. But the Raiders, please, for the love of God, do not sign Cam Newton. Cam Newton, I get it, had his opportunity with the New England Patriots in 2020. The Patriots whooped up on the Raiders 36-13, and at one point, me included, I was like, Cam Newton could win MVP in 2020. You know what happened then? NFL teams got tape. People made adjustments, and then Cam Newton started to stink. So if I'm Josh McDaniels and I'm like, all right, what's the worst offense I've ever had from an efficiency standpoint in the red zone? It's actually 2020 with Cam Newton, where they ranked 24th in the National Football League. So why the hell would I go ahead and do it again? Plus, it sounded like in that Cam still thinks he should start. The only way I'm bringing in Cam Newton is if you're like, hey, Cam, see that bench? Park it right there, and when Derek needs a water break, or if you need to throw him in there on second and goal or something like that for a 1 or 2 snaps a game and you're going to pay him a cheap deal, then sure, that's the idea of that. However, when you talk about Cam Newton from a passing standpoint, it's just not there anymore, guys. It simply isn't that. And this Raiders team, they want a quarterback who they believe can execute the offense in practice and in the practice squad as well. That's not what Cam's going to be able to do. And when you look at the numbers from 2020, 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 2,657 yards. I'm sorry. This is ugly, ugly production. So Cam Newton coming to the Raiders, please, for the love of God, no. If the Raiders do go out and they make any kind of move this entire offseason, I've told y'all, whether it's early in the morning, whether it's late at night, we're going to be going ahead and making a video here. I know there's a lot of other channels that you can watch. I know there's a lot of other content providers, but I really, truly believe nobody has what we have here. So if you love the Raiders, if you bleed silver and black, I want you to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. Plus, there are people who I know have their notifications on. They're a part of the Noti gang. And if you see me comment to people, it's a lot of times it's the very first people who comment on my shows. So I want to give a shout out. And I'm going to give a lot of shout outs here to people who have those notifications on. So I put out a video on March 25th. Here were the first 5 comments. Shout out to Untouchable Raider, Raiderville, Michael, Phil, and then Brandon Gamez. I don't know. I think that's what it is. If you want to see your shout out, though, on a future show, join the Noti gang. Let's talk about the next story here, and it's around the Honey Badger. And for some of y'all, this one's going to be sweet. There's been multiple reports out there that the Raiders have had some interest in the Honey Badger, but it sounds like the Steelers and the Dolphins are out on him. All right, I like that. It sounds like he's waiting on the right price to go ahead and decide where he is going to eventually call home in 2022. The safety market is always a very difficult market to be able to predict, whether it's the NFL draft, whether it's free agency, because I feel like safety is, you don't exactly know what you're going to get. Is he going to be a strong safety, a free safety? Here's what Yardbarker had to say on Tyrann Mathieu to Las Vegas. At this rate, it seems as though the only team that has known interest in the former Chief is the Las Vegas Raiders. According to Duloc, the Steelers are simply not in a financial position to afford Tyrann Mathieu, who is seeking a healthy contract. However, despite their own financial obstacles, the Raiders would make sense for a team that has retooled under first-year coach Josh McDaniels in the suddenly wide-open AFC West. The Raiders may be motivated to do what it takes to bring in an all-pro safety, even with Derek Carr's contract extension looming. Not only that, when I see players recruiting, when I hear somebody like Josh McDaniel speak as highly of Max Crosby as he did in saying, we want to bring players like Max Crosby. We want Max to be the face of the Raiders. We want to be able to bring these guys in to be the new Raider way. Max was already on Twitter. Fun fact of the day, Honey Badgers are silver and black. I've talked to Max before. Max doesn't usually do this kind of stuff. If Max is recruiting the Honey Badger, well then why the hell not? Let's make it happen. So we heard Davante Adams talk about the Raiders Report and said, hey, I saw people wilding out. We had a good time. Maybe the Honey Badger comes across this video as well. So what I want you to do, I want Tyrann Mathieu to come to the Raiders. I want that Swiss Army knife, that Tyrann Mathieu. I want to be able to take that Swiss Army knife. I'm going to be able to jab it into the back of the Kansas City Chiefs, and I want to twist it because the Chiefs are down. Let's step on their throats, and let's take back what is ours, which is the AFC West. So if you want the Raiders to go out and get the Honey Badger, let's go ahead and like that video. Here's something that I know y'all are going to like. I mean, personally, a Honey Badger jersey would be dope, but man, we got Davante Adams. We got Chandler Jones. We got brand new Bryan Edwards, Trevon Merrick jerseys available. And if y'all want to go ahead and get your hands on one of these bad boys, you got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders jersey. Whether there's for one for your woman, whether you want one for you, they come in white, they come in black, all different sizes. But I'm going to tell you this right now. The fact that I'm showing them on here, they might not be available tomorrow. That's just usually how this show goes. When new jerseys are presented, they go ASAP Rocky. So if you want to make sure that you get your hands on a brand new Raiders jersey, then you need to go to chatsports.com/Raiders jerseys. Now, we just talked about Chandler Jones, and that jersey, man, is unbelievable. I don't know if you guys saw this. I put it out on Instagram and on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365, and I almost laughed out loud. In fact, this is the perfect example of laughed my ass off. And in fact, when I saw the thing come out from Bleacher Report saying that Chandler Jones was the worst off-season free agent move that the Raiders made, I laughed so much that I don't even have an ass anymore. It's gone. In fact, if you were to look behind me, it's not there. It's just gone. So in terms of Bleacher Report, they wrote an article titled, Every NFL Team's Worst Free Agent Signing of the 2022 Offseason. They said it was Chandler Jones. You know what I have to say to that? Tuck rule, tuck that. It's idiotic. It's just blasphemy. I don't even know the other words that ludicrous to think that Chandler Jones was the worst free agency move that the Raiders made. If you want to sit up here and say, okay, maybe they paid him a little bit too much. Sure, that's okay with that. But you're telling me that that was the worst move that the Raiders made. And yet, they didn't mention the Von Miller deal, which was 6 years, 120, compared to Chandler Jones, which was 3 years, 51 mil. I get it. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks week 1. The rest of the year, he had 5.5 sacks. You know why? He wanted to get paid, and now he got paid. Now he's got a good home, and he's motivated to be able to go out and ball out. But this is what Bleacher Report had to say, and we know Bleacher Report's hated the Raiders forever. I mean, what else is new? Now on a 3-year, $51 million deal, Jones will be expected to perform consistently for a defense that sorely needs it after recording 35 sacks. It's going to be tough for Jones, who just turned 32, to live up to that contract. Well, guess what, Bleacher Report? I can't wait to the first sack Jones gets, the next sack he gets when he hits 10 sacks at the end of the season. I am going to laugh in your face because whoever put out this article, which, by the way, I don't even think it's a real person because I try to search for them on Twitter, they don't exist. I try to search for them on Facebook, they don't exist. So there's a part of me that thinks Bleacher Report's just putting out bullshit articles that are so ridiculous that nobody's writing because nobody wants to put their face to it. All I got to say is this. I got you covered, Raider Nation. I got Chandler Jones' back as well. Now, to make sure you guys stay up to date on all the news, all the rumors going on, especially during the offseason, hit me up on IG, hit me up on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365, because there was that screenshot that was going viral that, oh, the Raiders are going to sign Stephon Gilmore. You're going to get dummies that are going to put out a whole bunch of BS crap all the time to get a few clicks, get a few likes, get a few follows. I'll keep you up to date. If you want to know everything going on around the silver and black, I'm your one-stop shop. Hit me up, IG, Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365. The next thing coming up here on the Raiders Report is a cool article I saw from PFF, which is around fifth-year options and what should NFL teams do with players drafted in the first round of the 2019 NFL Draft. Well, the Raiders drafted 3 guys in the first round that year. Clelin Ferrell at number 4 overall, Josh Jacobs at 24 overall, and Johnathan Abram at 27 overall. The numbers that you see here to the right of me are how much it would cost for the Raiders to have them on their fifth-year option. You would have to pay Clelin Ferrell at $11.5 million. Sorry, never going to happen. Johnathan Abram at $11.5 million. Sorry, never going to happen. The only one that at least has a sliver of hope is Josh Jacobs at $8.03 million, which I love Josh. I have a lot of respect for the other guys too. But here's my question to the nation, and then I'll go ahead and give my answer. Should the Raiders exercise Josh Jacobs' fifth-year option? If you're like, hell yeah, Mitch, they absolutely should, go ahead and type that Y for yes. If you're like, $8.03 million is a lot of money for Josh, I want you to go ahead and type your N for no. I think Jacobs is a hell of a running back, but I'm going to give it a 1 no Chucky head chance. Personally, I think there's like a 10% chance of it happening. Not that Josh isn't a hell of a running back. We know Josh is a good running back. Now, PFF, they think that the Raiders ultimately will. The reason why I'm going to sit up here and say that the Raiders won't is because I know Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. They don't usually go out and they don't usually pay running backs. On top of that, I don't think that Josh is going to be able to stay as healthy as what you're hoping for. If he comes out this season, plays 17 games, let's say he puts up 1,500 rushing yards, goes ahead and gets 12 rushing touchdowns, well, then there's a legitimate argument to be had. But you also have to think about Kenyon Drake, because Kenyon Drake, he has, since his contract got shifted, he's got about 7.7 money in void years at the end of his deal. So if you're going to pay Jacobs $8 million next year, you also got to go out and pay Kenyon Drake down another 4. So I would rather probably pay Drake at 4.4 if he's healthy than Jacobs. But running back is also a very easy position to be able to go ahead and replace. Here's what PFF had to say on Las Vegas exercising Jacobs' 5th year. Jacobs has been as advertised since entering the league in 2019, with his 90.8 rushing grade being the 6th best mark among rushers with at least 100 carries. His 0.24 missed tackles forced per rushing attempt is tied for 4th, and his 77 explosive rushes ranked 6th. However, they also went ahead and they said this. Then again, Las Vegas' new regime is spearheaded by longtime New England Patriots staffers and head coach Josh McDaniels and general manager Dave Ziegler, who presumably understand the replaceability of the running back position. They also did not draft any of these players. This is the part of the quote that I want you to look at. If Josh is able to stay healthy, then sure, you have the argument to be made, because if Josh is able to stay healthy, I think it's a legitimate argument. He is a great running back, and at $8.03 million, cool. We can keep on pounding the football, pounding the rock with him. I just, at this current moment, can't sit up here and confidently say that Jacobs is going to be healthy this entire season, and is $8.03 million worth it at a position that I really truly believe is one of the easiest to be able to replace in the 2022 NFL Draft.